back to Dave Does Outdoors, and as you can see by the video title, we're at Dunino Den. A special place, a place that I come down to fairly regularly. I'm sitting beside this Neolithic standing stone in amongst ancient gravestones with skulls and all sorts of interesting factors. What's really interesting about this church at Dunino is the Druid den down the back. So we're going to have a quick look around. So this is pre-Christian kind of space of kind of worship that people used to gather, celebrate like fairies, life, death, all sorts of kind of spiritual sort of I guess the Druids, yeah, very kind of spiritual. And so you come out the church and you've got this kind of little unobtrusive path that runs down the side of the church. So when you come down the little path out the back of the church, you're met with the first. This is an ancient well, and probably carved in the stone. This is called the upper altar. So we're in almost August 2023. Something a little bit different. If you're new to the channel, normally I do a bit of outdoor stuff, but to be honest with you, kind of stick different bits and pieces up that I'm doing. Occasional little sort of family trip, etc. onto the channel, but it's mainly outdoors with the dog, camping, a little bit of hiking, quite local, sometimes further away. Today though, a little bit different. We live quite close to, let me get this jacket up, this space, this Druid space. So this was the kind of well, and then this is a engraved foot. And legend has it that kings and queens would get crowned up here. This is the upper altar, and then this is the Druid den down here. There's also another altar up here, so people would be sort of preaching from up here, but kings and queens would get crowned. A really spiritual kind of place, believed to contain fairies and spirits and all things supernatural. So again, going back way pre-Christian times, and then when Christianity became much more entrenched in Scotland, and Christian people would come here to preach and gather as well. So we'll go down the steps into the den. modern day Druids are still coming down here. Leaving food offerings and game offerings and tying little bits of silk and ribbon to trees, feathers to trees. Just little offerings to people that we've missed and lost, people in the past, people in the future perhaps. Quite a lot of apples, maybe at this time of the year in the summer. This is one of the nicest. There's a couple of really famous carvings. This one here, not sure if you're making that. It's a big, more of a Christian cross with 4 whole rounds. That one, they reckon's been a kind of a redo, and then the one that I like the most, the one that everyone likes the most, round here you've got this little carving. That's relatively new, but you've got that one, I think's proper old, and then you've got other more offerings, more coins. Wow, amazing place. The second altar's up here, so again, you know, people would come and preach. You'd have a kind of person up here preaching, and then you'd have somebody across there, which is the main one, probably even before these trees were here. So this would have been a kind of like an arena, like a space. Ancient though, proper, you know, this is well before Christianity. They reckon people would meet here. The rumour was that there were human sacrifice up at the well, but obviously nothing's documented, and I think it's just more of a kind of legend, sort of scary legend, but definitely a place of coming together and meeting, but in a very spiritual level, which is really nice. There's little walks I've never really been on. You can sort of walk up through those woods, and so nice. Leave only footprints, take only memories. Wow. Super special place to come and remember loved ones, and especially in this kind of dappled light when it's coming through the trees. That's the second kind of altar, and again there's a little hole been carved right in the middle of that little stone there, so you'd be able to climb down maybe a sort of wooden board with some help onto this. So this would also be, and they reckon that little hole was to put a cross, to stick the bottom of a cross in it, really big cross. So again, none of this kind of tree, none of this overgrown would be here. So just a natural place to speak to big groups of people. That's us, just a really quick little, it's really easy to find. It's a hidden gem in Fife. No one really comes here. Well, I've never met, well, I guess I come kind of morning. It's always quiet. There's a busy wee congregation, I think, that still meets at the Dunino church. But just behind the church, you can't miss it. Absolutely stunning. Down those little stairs, the well, the upper altar, the second altar, down into where you leave your offerings, the kind of altar stone, the altar kind of tree. It's an uprooted tree with the roots kind of, and then round the corner you've got the kind of Christian, the big sort of cross, the round, quite old looking sort of Christian sort of sign, and then round the corner further you've got the face and a few other carvings, which some are dated to be really old, some are less old, but I thought I'd just share that because I've been trying to kind of get some decent footage with a new camera down here at Dunino. So Dunino Den, hopefully some of you will get up here and when you're passing, if you're into your Druids and you're into your pre-Christian stuff and history, and it's an interesting little space. So especially this kind of, you know, human sacrifice is always an interesting concept, but I think it's probably just more legend, as I said before. The carved footprint, definitely that's where you would stand. You'd put your foot in there and there'd be some sort of, like, you know, crowning, you know, you're down to all the kind of, you know, cramming 1,000 people. You can access this space from the back, so people would be coming in, and then this space, again quite steep, you might not even go down, you would be probably removed from the people at ground level. So thanks for tuning in, hope you enjoyed a little bit of that. Again, I'm not a historian, but look on the internet, there's plenty of information there. So thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you've not subbed, give it a wee sub, give it a like if you haven't already, and I appreciate everyone's support. So listen, take care, we'll catch you in the next trip.